Ladies and gentlemen, to Wednesday night coverage on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. It's the Roasted Gems Cup Series, ready for some more racing action. Here tonight, it's race number 2 of Season 7. The WSSR Roasted Gems Cup Series drivers really taking themselves to a tough track here this evening. Last week at Daytona, got to see a spectacular run to the end where Cedric Hunter winning his way in at Daytona, but tonight a little bit of a tougher task. The drivers head to the Rock for the Farmers Beat America 150 here this evening. Rockingham, North Carolina is our destination for race number 2. This course is going to be hot and heavy as the track temps have been raising throughout practice, meaning the race time is going to be slick and all drivers are going to have a handful. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Freaky Fast Broadcasting. My name is Sam Dyer. Joining me later on is going to be Rock Warrior Jr., who's also going to be running productions this evening. The WSSR Roasted Gems Cup Series coming to Rockingham. It's been a while since they've been at this course. They've only been here once in the past, and that was all the way back in November of 2020. So it's been quite a while, and that race had a total of 12 drivers running in it. Brian P. Johnson found himself into victory lane. Tonight, a little bit of a different story. 37 drivers expected to hit the track tonight, and with no surprise, it's Brian P. Johnson leading the way. The 28's been the favorite to watch out for, and with practice just finishing up, it's time to figure out where the drivers are going to be starting out here this evening. Do want to give a quick shout out before we get into qualifying to the amazing sponsors that we have here for the WSSR. Starting things off with Roasted Gems Coffee. Roasted Gems Coffee brings you the finest and that of coffee grains to make sure that you've got the best coffee to start out your day. Go head over to roastedgemscoffee.com and use the promo code WSSR for 5% off on your purchase. They've got coffee, they've got great merch, and go check it out as their wide selection of flavors is incredible. Another site that you got to go check out, and also going to be the trophy grabbed by the champion here this season. It's Trophy Smack. Go over to trophysmack.com. Go find your trophy of a championship trophy, a belt, ring, or more. Go over to trophysmack.com. Use the promo code WSSR SMACK for 10% off. As including with more with Trophy Smack, they've got the great product known as a Wall Smack. Wall Smack is a great product that you can get. It's a metal plate that shows an image that you get to customize on picking out what you want to have on it, and it connects directly to your wall with a magnet-safe system that they have. Completely easy to place, remove, and transfer. Thank you so much to the amazing sponsors that we have here for the WSSR Roasted Gems Cup Series. And now it's time to check out where drivers are going to be placing themselves here this evening. Rockingham. Been hearing from all the drivers. It is a handful to race here tonight. Everyone's searching for the grip, finding consistency, and it might be tough overall. Currently, top of the board, going to be the 16 of Joshua Kanata after his 2 laps are done. A 24.351 will take it back. Ross Tatum taking the top of the board. We still have, again, 37 drivers need to put in a time. Only 14 currently have put in their best laps, and we cannot wait to see where they're going to be starting out. Last week, it was Nick Crawford getting the pole. Didn't get the win that he wanted, but who else could steal the top of the board? Well, Christopher Norris, Ryan Kelly, Ross Tatum, going to be your top 3 currently. And that of Christopher Norris's best time at 24.2. That is a fabulous time. That's one of the better laps that we've seen for Christopher Norris. That even beats out what his practice lap was. But the fastest driver in practice takes the top of the board. As you see on screen, it's going to be the 01 of Kyle Rochelle trying to beat out now Larry Yingling, last season's champion, a 3-time champion of the WSSR, 24.160. And Eric Krolick's best time going to be a 24.3, best for 6th for the 01 machine. As we look at some of the other drivers trying to put in some times, Devin Brock already has finished out his laps, but the 91 trying to get some extra practice. Again, this track going to be very loose at the beginning of these runs, then starts to tighten up later on once you get some more heat built up into the tires, and then there's a swing where it starts to break loose again. So drivers got to keep their eye and also their hands at all times ready to make some big moves. But currently it's Larry Yingling at 24.160, and the newcomer top of the board in second place gonna be Douglas Newbegin, but take it back, it's the 9 of Shane Tarian, who got second last week, now taking the pole position. Also want to give a huge shout out to our qualifying sponsor, Colley's mom. Colley's mom's been the sponsor of qualifying, and currently, Colley is not doing a great job. He is all the way down in 14th position, just showing how tough this track is going to be, as Douglas Newbinging going to be taking the top of the board. The 7 wants to hold the top crown. Cole Sacchetti, you can see what the 42 has on speed. First lap about to be started out. Where will he be placed as the ticker board continues to switch up on where you're at? This first lap looks to be the starter lap. The second one is where the true speed. Got a minute left in qualifying. And Cole Sacchetti, Brad Delph going to be the last two drivers out on track as the 42 trying to set up. First lap, where is the placement going to be for Cole Sacchetti? Looks to be still in the top 10, looking to be speed. It's going to be 13th fastest with that lap, as the 42 going to try one more opportunity to take the pole when we bring in our other commentator, Robert Moyer Jr. Robert, it's going to be a long night, 150 laps here at Rockingham. As we take a look at a sneak peek, will Cole Sacchetti take the pole? Not going to be good enough, but still a decent time for the 42. But Robert, this is going to be an interesting race to watch.
Oh, most definitely, Sam. It's going to be interesting to watch, man. This track is tough, like you said, and some drivers were talking about it all week, and we'll have to see how this all plays out. But like you said, Doug, they're putting it on the top of the 24.12, looking very strong. And I'm telling you, this top 5 and all the way down through, it's going to be a battle, and it's going to be, you got to take it really easy with this car here going into these turns. It's very bumpy going through 1 and 2. And just the layout, the way this track is, it's reminds me of an old Darlington. But we'll see how this all plays out here as we're going to bring up our qualifying grid here, Sam.
Qualifying results, again, sponsored by Colley's mom. Brandon's Colley's mom's been sponsoring the qualifying results the last couple of seasons, and we greatly appreciate helping and supporting this league. Again, the pole award, it's going to be the 7 machine of Douglas Newbegin and the 7 machine. Second, Shane Tarian, keeping up with his pace that he finished off last week in second position. Third goes to Larry Yingling. James Peter going to be in 4th. Brian P. Johnson 5th. 6th goes to Christopher Norris. Top 6 drivers all within a 10th of one another. Watch out for those 6. 7th going to be Cole Sacchetti. Ross Tatum in 8th. Ryan Kelly in 9th. Aaron Kralik 10th. Danny Cochran falling to 11th position. Benjamin Nelson in 12th. Kind of a surprise to see 79 so low in the field, but we'll see. Expect to see him move forward. Alden Fonseca in 13th. Joshua Kanata 14th. Brandon Colley, her mom sponsored the race, but she fell down to 15th. Can't wait to see how you're going to recover here tonight. Zach Hall in 16th position. Andrew Medlin in 17th. Brian Noel going to be in 18th, with Brandon Zimmerman in 19th. 20th, finishing the outer top 20 is Nick Crawford. Christopher Wade in 21st. Cedric Hunter 22nd. Kyle Rochelle in the 99 and 23rd. Ryan Ferraro in 24th. 25th position goes to Jonathan Cogswell, with Tyler Dangler in 26th. Nolan Hicks 27th. 28th is Devin Brooker. Devin Brooks is going to be in 28th. 29th is going to be Thomas Walter. Noah Steele in 30th. 31st is going to be Brian with an I Johnson in 31st. 32nd is Gregory Smith with Malik Kuntz in 33rd. Dakota Moniz 34th. 35th is going to be Brad Delp with James Kaufman 36th and 37th. James Packworth Jr. And with all the qualifying results, we also have some penalties after last week's race at Daytona. A lot of ARCA breaking into one another, and drivers that were penalized with an EOL to start out tonight's race. Going to be the 08 of Brian Johnson. Brian with an I. Going to be starting in the back of the line with an EOL penalty. And joining him is going to be James Kaufman, Ryan Ferraro, Bob Skinner, Devin Brock, as well as Malik Kuntz. So a little bit of a cluster of drivers have to go to the end of the line. For Robert, 150 laps about to get underway as the drivers are going to be pacing and getting themselves ready to get rolling here shortly.
Yep, we're going to get ready to go green here, ladies and gentlemen. What a packed house field we got going on here. We have a total of 36 drivers taking the grid here tonight at WSSR here at the Thunder Alley, known as The Rock. it's going to be an awesome race to watch, and we'll see what these guys can do. We've seen some wrecks and guys trying to rebound from last week, Sam, at Daytona, not turning out the season that they thought they would have. But, hey, season's not over, right? I mean, it's just starting here. Second race of the season. Brian Johnson there in that 28's looking for a rebound. Did not have a good race last week at Daytona. So we'll have to see how he all plays out and everybody else out in this field.
Yeah, this field, like you said, 36 drivers taking the green. Dakota Moni is missing the start. 5 might have to start on pit road if he does get registered back into the server. Man, a lot of these drivers expecting some great rebounds. I know for a lot of them, expected big things from Daytona, but everyone recognized it's a race where you never know what you're going to find. And the field is now ready and set to get rolling to find the first true test of the season. Rockingham, who's going to have the skill to hold on to these vehicles? Who's going to be able to avoid the big wrecks? And will we get any long green flag runs? Some of the big questions to watch out for here tonight. Pace car lights are off. We're going this time by tonight's race at Rockingham. Again, sponsored by Farmers Feed America 150. Thank you for sponsoring today's race. Race details, 150 laps, competition caution at lap 45 if we do not have a caution before then, and 1 fast repair, 5 sets of tires in pit road. Again, if we get a long run, fuel stint going to be 65 to 67 laps. The field's getting ready. Pace car pulls off. Let's get ourselves rolling for 150 laps here at the Rock. The Farmer Feed America 150 is underway. Shane Terry did not get the launch that he wanted. It's Douglas Newbigging getting the better launch. Larry Gangling going to be side by side for second place. The rest of the field trying to slot in off the exit turn 2.
As they're going to go down the exit of 2 here to go down the first time in 3 and 4 here, Sam, and they're all going to be fighting to try to find their way around as we look at the back of the field. Everybody just taking it really easy, and that's the key here tonight for this first lap. Take it easy, get these tires warm, and then you'll be able to, you know, do what you want to do here. But what a great start we have right now.
Right now, this is the first side-by-side battle for 4th place. It's Brian P. Johnson, James Heater going to be side-by-side. Heater both of these drivers had terrible Daytona races, trying to find some extra speed. And I think tonight it's going to be a good test of figuring out where the rookie class really fits in. Douglas Newbigging, though, leading lap number 1, and also going to be up front taking the charge further on in the middle of the pack inside of our top 10. Christopher Norris watching the great battling, but drivers getting wickedly loose off the exit of the corner. That's going to be something to watch out for as Ryan Kelly makes the pass on the 38.
Yeah, and you can see there on Christopher Norris, he got loose going out of turn 2, and Ryan Kelly just drove right up by him, and now we got Aaron Kralik there in the 01. He's going to try to look down below here in turn number 1 here and try to make that pass. And as we can follow back through here, we got Benjamin Nelson and the number 2 of Danny Cochran here. We also got the 24 looking on the high side of his teammate. But right now it's a clean battle, and we're 4 laps into this, and I got to give these guys credit. They are hang on there, Sam.
And it's going to be Aaron Kralik, Christopher Norris, big scares for the both of them. As they get split through the middle is Benjamin Nelson seeing an opening, and everyone else trying to hold steady as, the 16, Joshua Kanata breaks loose off the exit of the corner, keeps off the inside wall, continues to move forward. That's a big 8 positions lost for the 16, and just showing one tiny mistake could be so crucial, especially in the beginning of this run when everyone's so close to one another.
Well, yeah, that's it too here, Sam. Like you said, one little crucial mistake, and these drivers are going to fall back and lose 2, 3, 4, up to 8, 9, God knows how many positions here tonight. So the key is all this track here is all about throttle control. Just take it easy on that throttle exiting. And if you can do that and keep the rear tires, on this car, because I did a little bit of testing here at the Rock too, to get a little bit of feel of what these guys are handling. And I'm telling you, they really got to work the wheel here, as you see Zach Hall there getting loose.
Yeah, and the drivers, even over the radio, while the practice session was going on, the drivers were given a 1-hour practice session before they enter qualifying. And a lot of them were saying, I'm already feeling the fatigue of running just 20 laps with this car. A lot of drivers recognizing this could be a long race. Fatigue is going to be a big thing to watch out for. Are your arms and legs going to be able to handle this long of a race, 150 laps? The number of this laps is going to be a long one, a mile length course, but the bumps, you're seeing the violence of each corner, how it bobs up and down. One bad bump and that's also a reason why these drivers are breaking loose.
Yeah, you could break loose right there. You know, you hit that bump and you're back on the gas and you hit it wrong. You know, if you have a car on the inside or the outside of you there, you could slide up or slide down and wind up hitting that car on the outside or inside, and that's something you don't want to do. So, because you can see right now, Christopher Norris is struggling. You can see that rear end wanting to kick out there on him a little bit as we're riding along here with Zach Hall, and you can see Christopher is just struggling right now with that car there, Sam.
Yeah, and also what's hurting is the fact that they have to back off this cluster that's leading this pack. I mean, Ross Tatum, Cole Sacchetti, and those two drivers are really kind of clogging up the field. Is the one getting a little bit scared. That's Brandon Colley, who was able to get it off the inside wall. And watching kind of the madness that's in front of him, there's a good gaggle of drivers from 6th all the way back to 15th that just cannot get away from one another. And seeing a lot of looseness from Ross Tatum that kind of clogs up everyone. Accordion affects everyone having to check up and fall back. Drivers got to be aware that this could be a big mess if one more mistake starts to glow up and blow up even more.
Yeah, well, we talked to this number 42 last night over at Full Send, and he was not happy with his, you know, what he did last week at Daytona, and he said that he's struggling a little bit with the car, and you can go back and watch that stream from Freaky Fast. But right now, Ryan Kelly and him are side by side, and you can just see how much wheel input he's putting into this thing, exiting as the back end kicks out a little bit. But he's holding on pretty good right now. It looks like Ryan Kelly's finally going to get that run on the high side, as we got Benjamin Nelson now in that number 79 going down into turn 1 trying to pounce on him.
Benjamin Nelson, known for being quick on the long run, 79, trying to find an opening of where to place himself. Had to make a crazy move, splitting Christopher Norris and Aaron Kralik earlier. Now up to 8th position. Currently one of the bigger movers of the night. The biggest mover is back in 21st position. Noah Steele up 9 spots, but still good to be seeing Benjamin Nelson moving forward. That recognizes he's got to get ahead of 6th place of Ross Tatum, because the top 5 have gapped out pretty clearly away from everyone else, and they're feeling confident right now.
Yeah, I can see right now Ryan Kelly was moving up, but now he's starting to fall back again. He was moving his way up through the field here as he was going to pass, you know, Cole Sacchetti there in that number 42, but right now the driver that's on the move, ready to look at Ross Tatum there in that Coca-Cola machine, is this Benjamin Nelson here right now, trying to figure something out.
And joining with the 79, also going to be Aldo Fonseca back in 10th place, Zach Hall in 11th. They're trying to carve their way through this mess and get some clean air on the front bumper. Right now, drivers are dealing with a lot of tightness when you're on somebody. The dirty air isn't as thick or aggressive as the next gen or the trucks that we watch most of the weeks here on Freaking Fast Broadcasting. These Gen 4s, a little bit more about the driver itself, how they're protecting their tires and allowing them to make these moves. As Benjamin Nelson dives into the inside of Ross Tatum, hoping he's going to have a good run off the exit of the corner. Not able to clear, though. 79 will have to set back in line and get some more track help before he can attack again.
Yep, and again, you can just see how bumpy this track is, Sam. It is very bumpy, and they just got to take it easy, especially that bump there in 1 and 2 can really upset this car. And we'll see Benjamin Nelson right now still trying to figure out how he wants to get around you know, Ross up here, but Ross is running a good line right now, and he looks like he's got control of this car. And I got to give these guys props. 18 laps into this thing, and we were really worried how this race was going to turn out here tonight, Sam. And right now, bravos to a 37 car field, well, 36 actually, field here. Give them props.
Massive props, and a lot of these drivers just trying to stay on course is their big thing to watch out for. But something else that we didn't touch on, but it was now 7 laps ago, Shane Tarian able to make the pass on Douglas Newbigin, the 9 machine, leading the way, running a much higher line than the 7. Whoa. And it is starting to show a little bit more on the rear end. But we heard from Shane last week after finishing in 2nd place, feeling like this car fits his driving style. And right now the 9 qualified 2nd, takes the lead, and now trying to pull away.
He's going to try to pull away. He finally got the lead. His best lap was a 24.637. His last lap was a 24.9. But it's just 0.2 slower there. But right now we can see Doug, he's fighting and exiting out here too. So again, I think it's just all going to come down to saving your tires right now, Sam, and see what you can do. As we got Brian Johnson, I do believe, there running in 3rd position with Larry running right behind him. And this trophy trophy smack machine in the Category 5 esports machine, Brian Johnson in the 28 is looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, Brian Johnson continuing to, as a lot of the drivers have split up in teams of 3 or teams of 4, or you were just by yourself. And Brian Johnson teaming up with Aaron Frolick and Ryan Ferraro to be part of the team Sidewinders Motorsports, as their 4th used to be Vincent Sora, who was the 2-time champion of this series, but a fall back. Well, we got to fall back for ourselves. Back to 16th position because we got a cluster of 3 drivers and one getting into the wall. It's the 77 of Brian Noel. Was 3 wide with Joshua Kanata and Brandon Colley, but the outside lane bit the 77 into the outside wall, falling back to Cedric Hunter, and as well now in a little bit of danger with the 12 Andrew Medlin. 77's got some damage he's got to deal with. Let's see if he can recover from that contact. Teamwork and team effort is going to be something to talk about throughout tonight. Once we get further along and what strategies will be seen if lap traffic becomes an issue or not. But aggressive driving in the middle of the field here, Robert. I'm not surprised by it because some drivers think they need to get as many positions as possible, as fast as possible. Otherwise, they could be losing track position on the grouping ahead.
Bro, that's it too, Sam. You know, you don't want to go a lap down, and this leaders right now are putting down some whaler laps right now. And eventually you're going to have to, start moving, start moving because so you don't go a lap down, as we're going to see Andrew Medlin trying to look underneath here on Brian here, Noel, and that number 77 machine as Andrew's trying again to look, but still not getting it right now, and that 77 pace is up. But anyways, you're correct, Sam. You know, we're 25 laps into this now. These tires are nice and warm. They're built up. They got the pressure built up in them. The guys are kind of starting to know what their cars are going to do and what they cannot do. Now you just got to start, moving forward and trying to set yourself up for that first pit stop.
Yeah, and that first pit stop, not expected to happen under green, or at least not in this first stint. Expecting to see pit stops happen at our competition caution if no yellow flag comes out at the end of lap 45. The admins and race control. Woo! And big shout out to race control, as well as some big moves moving on back here, as seeing Andrew Medlin, Noel, as well as the biggest mover of the race right now, Noah Steele, getting mixy, and that 88's got to be careful as Christopher Wade opening the nose, thinking about where to go, and Nolan Hicks as well, putting the pressure on in this pack. But a competition caution will be thrown at the end of lap 45 if a caution flag does not come out beforehand, and give a little bit of a reset for the field before we go into long green flag runs later on in the race.
Yep, we'll see here if they make it to that lap 45 or not, because these guys are in the back of the field here. They're running a little bit slower right now, and they're looking mighty loose. We got George, we got Ryan back here, we got George Smith here in that number 60 machine back here running in 29th position here, and then we got Coxwell here in that 27, Sam. Lucky Dog machine here, and that back here running in 30 position. So these guys back here, them leaders are eventually going to catch them. They got to start picking up the pace.
I would say that this group that we're looking at, they should be secure and safe, but falling back to Brad Delph, Devin Brock, as well as James Kaufman and James Hackworth Jr., those drivers are in major concern of going a lap down. And actually, James Kaufman and Brian with an I Johnson came into pit road. Both of those drivers didn't feel secure in their tires, had to come in pit road, get service done, and we'll be back out on track here shortly as you see Hackworth Jr. getting back out on course. Slight right side damage for the 23 as he's trying to get back out on track.
He's trying to get back out on track. We got this Texas Speed sim race here. Brian Johnson with an I. He's exiting pit road now here too, and you can still see there, yep, on the right-hand side, he's got some damage too.
Yeah, getting into the outside wall is a big problem to be grabbed. And these drivers, I think first, some of them deeper in the field, maybe overdriving just slightly. That's forcing them to have to come into pit road. And another driver into pit road, it's going to be the 77, Brian Noel, having issues, broke loose, heavy contact to the outside wall. The 77 required damage, forced into pit road. Their race isn't completely done, as all drivers have a faster pair here tonight to work with. But it's a tough pill to swallow when you come into pit road. You're forced to be going 2 laps down just by making a regular service. If you're getting repairs done, even more.
Yep. Yeah, and going 2 laps down to get your repairs and service done, to fix up that car, you go 2 laps down, and yeah, we're going to have a comp caution coming up, but you still got drivers now that you got to battle with that are either a lap down or 2 laps down to be that driver with the lucky dog. So it's not guaranteed that you're going to get back on the lead lap. As we're watching back here, I was just seeing some cars really getting loose as we've seen Fonseca and Danny Cochran almost spinning out, both of them at the same time like a synchronized swimmer.
Yeah, the teammates from Larson Line Racing, Ollie Fonseca, Danny Cochran, who also run on Monday nights for the ISRC Truck Series. Ollie has been struggling in the 24. He's been getting bouncing to the outside wall, and he's going to get spun by his teammate. Ooh. And that's the caution that sets us up. And it was not even the first time that's happened. Ollie was getting really hampered by his teammate, and you don't see that very often, but it's teammate on teammate action, bringing out the yellow.
Yep, and we've seen that live, so there's no reason to go back and watch the replay on that one, Sam. But wow, I mean, teammate on teammate. I wonder how that chat's going to go on the teams here. But I don't want to say he did it on purpose, because normally that's not it. But team chat might be a little hype right now.
A little bit more on maybe the talkative side, you could say, for those drivers. I think it was maybe a little bit of miscommunication. Ollie'd been struggling in the center of the corner. It looked like Danny found some extra speed, gassed it up a little bit too soon. And when you tap someone's back bumper a little bit too fast, you lift that rear end, which is going to be spinning out a driver. Luckily, Danny backed off in time to allow Ollie to resave that wreck, but man, that could have been a lot worse than it was. And now everyone into pit road gets service done, expecting 4 tires and fuel. And because the caution came out before lap 45, this will technically count as our competition caution. So there will be no forced yellow after this point.
No forced yellow here now. This is the comp caution. They're going to, like you said, put 4 sets of tires on here, fix up the cars if they have any damage, and also get 2 cans of Sunoco fuel here and head on back out as we see everybody exiting pit road. And you got to be very careful exiting pit road too, Sam. Look at the cluster coming out of here.
Very narrow, especially through the corners when you're exiting out of pit road. The majority of the field stays where they entered in, but certainly a little bit more chaotic when you're watching everyone exit their box, being 2, 3, sometimes even 4 wide. But the driver up front, it's the 9 machine of Shane Sarian and his Evil Controllers scheme. Main reason why he's sponsored by Evil Controllers, he's a controller driver, this 9 machine. One of the very few on iRacing that can perform well and be on a controller. Always crazy. I mean, that's the same word I would use, Robert. Crazy to think that there are people that really have this type of skill level running with a controller, but just showing that you don't, any system you want, a controller, wheel, hey, hop on iRacing. We'd love to see you out there on track and show what talent you have. Yeah,
I mean, there's talent out there, and there is controllers out there that are just as good as wheels that cost hundreds of dollars. I mean, it's great to see iRacing be able to help one side of the handicap side of things, Sam. Everybody likes racing, not everybody, but everybody that likes racing, gets into this sim racing. And granted, you got some that play it for real and playing it for money and are really good at it, and some just like to do it as a hobby. And that's perfectly fine. iRacing's got everything out there from road racing to dirt to NASCAR, a whole bunch of different, IMSA cars, GT3, 4s, 5s, whatever. They have it all here at iRacing. So bravos to them. And it's cool to see Shane be able to up here lead the race, and we'll see if he can bring that Monster Energy machine here home for a victory.
Yeah, and also if you'd like to see other drivers that run with controllers and are just as fast as the top runners, check out our race tomorrow night, Stars and Stripes. June White is also another driver that runs around with a controller and is up front most weeks. Found himself winning a couple of races last season, otherwise known as Juan Jimenez, that was really stealing the show for the Stars and Stripes last season. Yep. So tomorrow night, certainly going to be a good one. Same car, different track. They're going to be going to Las Vegas tomorrow night. So remember, if you haven't subscribed on Freaky Fast Broadcasting yet, subscribe, hit that bell notification so you're notified when we go live with our next Freaky Fast broadcast. Is up front, Shane Terry and Douglas Newbiggie ready to get rolling. You're watching the WSSR Roasted Gems Cup Series, race number 2 of the season for the Farmers Feed America 150. Pace car is off into the restart zone, and Shane Terrian ready to get us rolling as he waits until the middle of the restart zone to take off, and it gives him the space to be fully clear.
He fully clears, going down into turn 1. Now here comes, gotta really take it easy, Sam, here. You got fresh tires here, and you need to at least 2 to 3 laps to get these things warmed up here, and you just got to baby the car, and then eventually you can start driving it harder and know what your car did. We just had a very long stint, so these guys know what this car is going to do here.
Yeah, a lot of knowledge. First 5 laps, a little bit nerve-wracking, and then you start to feel comfortable for 20 laps before it really starts to tighten up on entry. Drivers trying to find that comfort zone where they feel the most comfortable is right on board third place runner Brian P. Johnson, Brian with the Y, who's trying to figure out how to get up front. This 28 Machine Season 1 champion of the WSSR Cup Series, all the way back when the series first began. Crazy to think 7 seasons later, this 28 is still one of the biggest threats week in and week out. Is right on board with Brian and see how these hands are working.
Hey, definitely can see it with the bumps, the way he's got to work it. He's sawing the wheel, left, right, left, right, left, right. Oh, bump, yep, left, right, left, right. Oh, hang on, getting loose. Oh, and somebody in the front of him got loose. Who was that? That was Doug that got loose in the number 7.
Douglas Newbiggie getting a little bit out of sorts, and like we said, the first 5 laps of this run going to be concerning to watch out who can hold on and who might go out of control. And currently, the 7 trying to keep pace with Shane Terry and not wanting to lose touch, and maybe hoping to get back in that lead position. Maybe save these tires for a better run later on, as the top 3 stay single filed out. Everyone is pretty much single filed until you fall back to 11th place, where a driver that's surprising me completely outside of the top 10, that's James Heater, who's really lost touch of the speed in the early portions of this run.
Yeah, and it looks like he's stuck down on the low line right now as he's trying now. He finally got cleared by Aaron Kralik, but yeah, I mean, he started out good, but he's way down 9 positions here right now, Sam.
Yeah, he's qualified 4th place here tonight. 18 looked fast even during practice, but race trim, maybe it's not there. Feeling a little bit more uncomfortable behind the 18. There was some 3 different lanes being utilized as there's battling going on for 17th position. That's Brandon Colley, Nolan Hicks, as well as Cedric Hunter, trying to find out where they want to place themselves to make the pass. Last week's winner, the 13, stuck right in the middle of the pack, as he's seen the 1 and the 86 have a great battle in front of him.
He's got a great battle in front of him, and you can see he's trying to figure out where he wants to go, and right now he's just going to stay low as Nolan Hicks got loose.
Also looked like in front of them had some other drivers, and Nick Crawford also breaking slightly loose off the exit of the corner, and these small little adjustments are going to be crucial to watch out for, as Hicks almost drifts up into the 13. And that would have been bad for both Cedric Hunter and Andrew Medlin. Medlin had nowhere to go, sitting, ducking a victim that could have been struck. But they keep it straight, keep it moving forward. As again, the exit of the corner, Robert, that is, there's a nasty bump there, and also seems to be a little bit of overcorrection. And that rear end steps out, the Fresh just snapping it to the outside.
Yeah, and all that's doing, Sam, is it's just starting to rip up them rear tires is what it's doing, and it's making that right. Whoa, as Andrew Mellon just got a little loose there. But yeah, I mean, they got to really watch it here, and they got to cool them down. You get that right rear tire hot.
No! Issues in front of them, though. It's going to be the 24 of Ollie Fonseca. Issues strike again. Bad exit out of turn number 2, and Nick Crawford was right on his back bumper, tapped it, and the 24 went spinning. Didn't bring out a yellow. That was off the racing surface, so we stayed green. But Ollie Fonseca caught up with another mess.
Another mess, and we look at his car right now. That thing is broken. He's probably got a toe end broken. You can see that thing is just... He's got to bring that thing in pit road, unless he's going to try to just battle it out right now, Sam, until the next pit stop to get the damage fixed. But that car's not looking too healthy right now.
It is
After
not looking
that.
healthy at all, and the big thing, the lucky thing you could say for the 24, at least doesn't have required damage, so isn't forced to have to come into pit road. With Ollie at this point, is just going to try to limp this thing around and bank on a yellow flag to come out. Where we could be seeing one is actually up front. This is battle for 7th place. Ross Tatum, Zach Hall. We've seen these two battle quite a lot on Tuesday night, the Full Send Racing Series last season, as they both were battling for a championship. They were battling in the trucks during that season that's usually ran on Tuesdays, but new league, new cars, and right now they're still side by side.
Yeah, it seems like they're just been stuck for the past year and a half, like you said. And right now, Ross is saying, you know what? I see you, Zach, behind me, and I'm tired of finishing I'm tired of you finishing in front of me. So here, take this.
Stay behind me. Don't make the pass. And right now, I mean, I gotta say, this car, I'm interested to see how it's gonna really stick with Ross Tatum. This car really does a lot better when you're saving your tires. It's kind of a trend that Ross is known for doing, as being one of the more aggressive tire savers. 21 should be a threat to watch out for later in this race, but it looks like Zach Hall doesn't want to be as patient. Feels like he's confident on where his tires are in the heat realm, but he can't get the run that he wants. Christopher Norris gets out of control.
Oh my goodness! These guys are wheeling his car. Oh, as Aaron Kralik into the wall.
I mean, some of these drivers just can't get away from one another. The Christopher Norris, Aaron Kralik once again almost making contact. Kralik gets into the outside wall. These drivers have been on top of one another, can't get away from each other. Some bad messes that they've had, and somehow we continue to keep it straight. Another driver having some issues. The 19 of Tyler Dangler forced to go into pit road after breaking loose off the exit of turn 4. Going to get some service done for the 19, but also was given a black flag, so he's going to go multiple laps down before he can get back out on track.
Yeah, that's a tough way to have your second race of the season go, but again, it's still early yet in the season, so we'll have to see how that all plays out for him. But right now, I'm just watching Christopher Norris right now. Look at this again. This kid is fighting his car right now. It is not being nice to him.
No, it is not. And again, a majority of these drivers we cover in other leagues. If you were watching Monday night, Christopher Norris probably had the save of the season for the ISRC Truck Series. And right now in a car that you're able to save, but really likes to break loose a lot when you're on track, this 38, it's got to be a wheelman tonight, and he is trying to keep it inside of at least the top 15, doing so greatly. But this is a mess of drivers that aren't feeling too comfortable. Drivers battling for 21st position. Kyle Rochelle in the 99, Noah Steele in the 88. Side by side behind them is Christopher Wade and Brandon Zimmerman that are battling with one another.
They're trying to figure out where they want to go here, and you can see Tyler now coming out of pit road, but right now we got that 65 there of big sponsor Roasted Gems Coffee here of WSSR, but you can see now he's going to look underneath the 99 here and try to figure if he can get by the 99 of who is that? Kyle. I'm not used to him being in the 99, but they're side by side.
Yeah, we're used to seeing Kyle Rochelle in the 21 machine or a different number. 99 is not what we're used to seeing. Also, we're used to seeing him in the blue and white, but not tonight. Going to be in the gray. Looking for sponsorship help is Kyle Rochelle, who currently is in 23rd position. Kind of odd to see Kyle this deep in the field, but the competition has risen so much that we're seeing a lot of gaps of drivers that used to traditionally battle for a top 15, top 10 run, now all the way back in 20th position. As we talk about drivers inside the top 10, here's a great battle. Ross Tatum, Zach Hall, they can't get away from one another, but they're trying for another pass.
Well, Zach Hall says, I'm going to try it again, and Ross says, nope, the high line's going to work better here. We'll see if Zach can get that run off the bottom line here, and he does not. They go side by side as we got Cold Cecchetti now running. But the note on what you're saying there, Sam, is, drivers that are used to top 5, top 10s and things like that. Again, we talked about it at the beginning of last week at Daytona. The field here with this them moving over to Wednesday night and then, running the high horsepower of these cars here, that was a mistake by iRacing. The field has, I'm telling you, the talent has tripled I mean, we got Ross Tatum, we got Cole Sacchetti, we got Andrew Medlin, we got Ryan Kelly, Larry from last year. You know, I can just keep going on and on and on how this field just stacked up here. And now it's a proven fact. Look where Zach Hall's running. He's back here battling Cole Sacchetti, just got around him, and he's in at least he's in the top 10, but he's running in 9th position.
Yeah, he's running in 9th position. I think this might have been the only grouping that didn't have an incident while you were talking there, Robert. Brandon Colley issue into the outside wall at the exit of turn 4. Same for the 7 of Douglas New Beginning, who was in 2nd place. He falls now to 4th. And Danny Cochran having issues, all getting on the exit of turn 4. Just had some major spills that kept it straight, but all losing about 3 to 4 positions each. This is, it's getting to that point where we had our first caution where drivers were losing the handling of the car, getting very tight in the center of the corner, and snapping loose off the exit. Everyone's got to be careful from here on out, especially because fuel-wise, we're not expecting pit stops for another 40 laps.
Yeah, another 40 laps. Well, here the thing with that is here, the tires, I don't believe it's going to last the fuel run. So I don't think these guys got to worry about the fuel run. I'd be more worried about my tires. And, you know, the bad thing about the car here tonight for these guys that they're fighting with is what you just said there, Sam. You know, you got you're pushing, and then you snap loose coming out of the corner. And you got what we call in racing, you know, you push and then snap loose. And it's hard. That's hard to manage, you know, because you got to figure out where you want to run, how you want to run, what kind of brake bias you want to put in it. Do you want to run the high line, the low line? You know, so each driver's got their different tendencies on the track here, you know, so they got to just figure it out and ride and find out what the best for it is and not push the car more than the car wants to drive.
Yeah, and a lot of these vehicles have been very much being tested to their limits. As see that Tyler Dangler, who already had a major issue 3 laps down, has another snapping loose spot off the exit of the corner. Is the 1 in the 34, Brian Ferraro, getting by lap car. That's the 23 machine, excuse me, of James Hackworth Jr., who's currently 2 laps down. There's a couple of drivers that are looking for some good runs inside the top 15, riding on board with the 16 of Joshua Kanata, seeing James Heater gets into the outside wall, tries to keep it straight, and those little taps in the center of the corner are terrifying if you're a driver, because you don't know if the driver's going to keep the momentum or if they're going to be coming slowing down immediately in front of you.
Well, that's it. You can see how high Joshua got there. You know, the thing is, too, if you hit that wall, well, as you can see right there, I'm just going to use an example. It's called the sticky wall. And, you know, you get up into that wall, that driver is pulling the wheel left to get it off the wall, and the problem is it don't get off the wall, and you got to slow down to a certain speed for the wall to let go of the car. So I call it the sticky wall, and man, it's not good when that happens, as you just seen that happen to Aaron Kralik.
Yeah, Kralik falls back, and he's got to be careful because now he's in danger of Danny Cochran and Cedric Hunter that are on the move. Danny's been struggling with the handling of the 2 machine with his tires. Other drivers have been struggling, and one hitting pit road. Cole Sacchetti hitting pit road. He was being caught and passed and maybe didn't feel comfortable enough. It's pit road for the 42, a very early stop. And I'm imagining with the timing of coming into pit road, this could be thinking about a 2-stop strategy for the 42 machine, expecting another stop maybe around lap 1010. But this 42 making the early entry from some of our top runners right now.
And how many tire sets do they got here, Sam?
Coming into tonight, they got 4 sets in pit road to work with. A lot of them took 1 set at our first yellow, and this is expected to be their 2nd set, so they should have 3 to work with after this. So the race isn't over for the majority of them, but Cole Sacchetti at this point needs this race to stay green because he's going to go 2 laps down after getting the tires and fuel done.
Yep, that's what he's hoping for, and like you said, he's going for a 2-tire stop here. And we'll see if anybody else decides, you know, maybe that is the call, maybe that's the way to go. But right now, these front runners up here are just pulling away. And Shane Terrian in that number 9, it just put the 24 a lap down, and he's dealing with some lap traffic now here, Sam, but he's navigating through the field here on lap number 72 of 150, looking pretty good here right now. He's got to slow up here for the white car.
That's James Kaufman in the Casper machine, and Looks to be holding steady in that lane, forcing our leader to drive on by, which there's a lot of different. I don't know, Ollie
Whoa.
Fonseca into Kaufman, and that's going to bring out the caution.
And we are under caution. Oh, baby. We'll see if we can pull up that replay here, Sam.
And we're talking about trying, I was just about to say, lap cars, either they get out of the way blatantly or they try to run a consistent position, and it looked like there for Kaufman. Completely changed up what consistency was and what position he was running entering the corner. Ollie wasn't prepared for it and runs over the 25 as we're getting the instant replay up for you here. A caution that is going to hurt multiple drivers, such as that it's going to be Nick Crawford, who just came into pit road to get service done, and Cole Sacchetti. That's going to be a tough pill to swallow for the both of them, but they're both just one lap down, so they should be able to do a wave around that will put them back on the lead lap. As this is what brought out our one of our cautions or incidents. I don't believe that this is what brought out the yellow, but this is an incident that happened earlier on in the race.
Oh, okay. I grabbed the wrong replay. Well, we're watching right now of this old replay. I do apologize. I didn't get the other one. I'll see if I can find it here for us, Sam.
Yeah, this was an incident that actually forced Ollie to go a lap down. That was the spin that we initially freaked out about. This is what brought out the caution. James Kaufman in the white machine checks up a lot quicker than 24 was expecting, just drives right through him and sends Kaufman to the outside wall. Heavy damage for both of those drivers, and looks to be both drivers going to be aiming for a wave around for a quick caution once they get back to green flag racing. As the rest of the field, 4 tires and fuel, and ready to get back to green flag racing here as we're about to hit the halfway marker. And Robert, I think we'll attempt it. Hopefully we'll be back in time for the green. We're going to be trying to go to a commercial break to give ourselves a break, and as the drivers take one as well. Thank you for joining with us on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. You're watching the WSSR Roasted Gems Cup Series. It's race number 2 of the season. The Farmers Feed America 150 at the Rock. Shane Darian's leading the way with Benjamin Nelson, Ryan Johnson, Douglas Newbegin, and Ryan Kelly. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the WSSR Roasted Gems Cup Series. As you are watching race number 2 of the Farmers Feed America 150 at Rockingham. The 9 is Shane Darian leading the way, Benjamin Nelson second, and we are back to green flag action. All drivers taking 4 tires and fuel, and it's time to see, can you hold on with the speed you got? Benjamin Nelson not wanting to let the 9 go away, and he has to hold on. Big slide from the 79. Rest of the field trying to hold on, but they're wrecking further behind.
Oh boy, we have a wreck out here, and I don't see who that is on. It looks like it's on the
Oh, it's the 77 and the 24. Ollie gets tapped again.
Oh my goodness. Well, let's see if we can grab the replay on this one here, Sam.
It's going to be the 77 of Brian Noel. And this was something drivers were curious about on restarts. Were there going to be any wrecks that popped up? Well, here's our first initial restart wreck of the race as drivers were trying to aim to enter turn number 1. And it was the exit where drivers get into some contact. We're bringing up the replay right now. Thank you again for joining with us, ladies and gentlemen, to Freaky Fast Broadcasting. My name is Sam Dyer. Joining me is Robert Moyer Jr., running productions and commentating. But let's watch out. This is what brought out our most recent yellow, the 77 of Brian Noel, going to be entering the corner, a little bit aggressive compared to the 24, who's backing up because of the 91. And Noel, just carrying too much speed, plows right into the 24 of Ollie Fonseca, caught up in another incident. Nick Crawford, nowhere to go. He'll spin out the 77, and that's what brought out our most recent yellow of the race. Simple little contacts here or there. Locking it down was Noel, hoping not to collect any other drivers, as luckily everyone else was able to drive on by. So we're going to give it another try on this replay, on this restart of who's going to survive, who's not. A couple of drivers into pit road get some more damage repair. But Robert, I'm surprised it took our third caution of the day to bring out this type of a yellow.
Yeah.
It's a restart kind of an incident.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Sam. I mean, we were worried about it. Guys were worrying about it in Discord. We talked about it all day, and it didn't happen until now, and it took the third caution. So hopefully now some drivers are going to learn what not to do. we'll find out real fast, because we're gonna rack them and stack them and do it all over again here. But real quick, everybody out there in YouTube, thank you for tuning in. We got a great packed people tuning in here tonight. Who's your favorite driver? Let us know, and also, if you don't mind, hit that like button and share button. That does help us a lot here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. And also, I was looking at some stats today here, and we have a lot of people that tune in here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting, Sam, but they don't hit that bell notification button. If you don't mind, ladies and gentlemen, that helps us out big time too. So when you hit that bell notification and you subscribe to the channel, every time we go live, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, you get notifications, know when we go live. And if you're free, you can hop in and tune in and watch great action here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting.
Yeah, I mean, we do broadcast 4 times a week, Monday through Thursday. And at some point, we're actually decided to say that we will have a broadcast, hopefully, on Sunday night sometime during August. We're still waiting on the official day of that, but Sunday through Thursday at some point in the future, Robert. Plenty of great racing here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting.
We got more content coming. We got Sam, you're working on the podcast yet. When we submit that stuff to you, he's working on some other videos here for Freaky Fast Broadcasting for the future when it gets done. But I am also looking at starting, not knowing how good I'm going to be at it, but I'm looking at posting highlight clips of all the wrecks here throughout the week, or every 2 weeks, or every month, of the wrecks of all the leagues that we covered. So that's content is eventually going to be coming out here soon too, and I just got to come up with the name of what we want to name it. But I'm thinking, and maybe chat can let me know. I was thinking about calling it "Let Me Be the Yellow." But if somebody's got a better suggestion, we're all ears, right, Sam?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, with today's race, having some of the amazing sponsors that we do, might have to talk to Trophy Smack about having the Wall Smack Wrecks of the Month, maybe, as drivers are prepared to get ready to rolling. I mean, that's exciting, watching all the wrecks. We got some pretty big ones. If you'd like to go help out with Robert on that as well, you can go comment on previous broadcasts and say, hey, I think on this lap, biggest wreck of the race, that should be in the wrecks of the month, as drivers are back to green flag racing. Shane Terry and Benjamin Nelson going to be the top 2 currently, but Brian P. Johnson putting the aggression on, the 28 machine on the inside, able to hold steady. And these drivers a lot more aggressive and on top of one another this go around, Robert. And Shane Terrian's hoping to get a little bit of breath there for a little bit of fresh air as he gets a slight gap over Benjamin Nelson.
Well, we're on lap 82 of 150 here, Sam. So I do think these guys here know it's time to go. Again, they know what the car does on a long run, what the tires do, the fall off, their speed, their times. So they know, okay, I got to push it a little bit harder, or I got to back off just a little bit and save my tires here. But right now, Shane is, like you said, he's got Benjamin Nelson right now right behind him. And Shane's like, I got to get out of here.
Yeah, and that's a safe place to go. Get out of there, get out of the mess, let some of the other faster drivers run around where they are, and let the speedy drivers just fight one another, bicker, and use up their tire rubber so you don't have to worry about them later on in this race. As Douglas Newbicking dealing with one of the best drivers in this league. That's the 67 of Larry Yangling, the three-time champ of the WSSR series, and 67 up to fourth position. And also following him, going to be Ryan Kelly in the 3 as these drivers all figuring out who's going to be inside the top 5.
Doug just had a major slide coming out of turn 2, and that's not going to help his tires here. Our pole sitter right now in that Roasted Gems coffee machine, number 7, he's struggling a little bit as Ryan Kelly's going to get around him, and now he's going to have Zach Hall trying to look to take another position here too. But I'm not sure what's going on with Doug here right now, Sam, but he is looks like he's struggling, or maybe the temperature of the track changed on him.
I think it's more so on the fact of where his entry point is. He's very low on the entry. Everyone else feeling a lot more comfortable on the outside. And with being how low he is and using a lot more wheel input to get as low as he is, that 7, when he gasses it up just a little bit too soon, it's going to rotate the rear end and get him spinning out. So Douglas Newbicking maybe thinking about following everyone else's footing for a couple of laps, find some extra speed, and then get back into the mix. But drivers up front, Shane Terrian thought he was able to pull away. Benjamin Nelson not giving up, second in first place, getting a little bit closer each and every lap as we're getting closer and closer when drivers might think about going into pit road as the pit window will start to open up.
That pit window will open up here very, very shortly here, but you can see right now Benjamin is trying to catch Shane here, and he's looking pretty good. He's slowly getting him. He's about, let's see here, about 3/10 behind him right now. Shane's looking good, but we'll see if, I think by now the tires are warmed up, and I think we're just going to have equal footing here right now, Sam, honestly.
And a driver just having some major issues this last lap, Brad Delph, require damage for the 6, had a big, massive collision off the exit of turn 2, and then also tapped by the 77 of Brian Noel. The 6 gonna have to be forced into pit road as he was hoping for a yellow flag to come out. It did not, and he'll have to make a green flag pit stop if he can get into pit road, dealing with the broken toe link on that front right, but able to slow down and make the entry.
Well, looks like he's got to come down to pit road and get that machine fixed, unfortunately for Brad Delph, and we'll see how long that takes as we come back up here with Aaron Kralik and Cedric Hunter right now here. They're looking pretty good, and I got to give I'm going to give a little bit of props to this Aaron Kralik right now. He's been running in the inside of the top 10, and looking pretty good. And you got Ross and you got Christopher Norris there in front of him, so that 01 Tide machine is looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, he's staying exactly where he qualified in 10th position, but has to be a little bit worried because the 13 Cedric Hunter is behind. Cedric tied with one of the biggest movers of the day. Also tied with them, well, now actually just taking that lead was Nolan Hicks back in 15th position.
Oh.
But Cedric, oh no! Slight contact into the inside barrier as he slides and comes to a hold. Rest of the field comes out, but he backs up, and that's going to bring out the yellow.
And yellow out, and I'm not exactly sure what happened there. We will see if we can grab the instant replay again here, Sam.
It looked to be the 13 was trying to come up, but made slight contact with Aaron Kralik, and it's going to spin out the 13 machine. Hard contact to the inside barrier. It's going to crinkle up the front nose, but not hard enough to force the 13 into pit road, but he should be coming in to get repairs done. And Robert, with the timing of this yellow, this is in the range that drivers fuel-wise can take us to the end of this race. As you see, the 13 tries to get up to where the 01 is. Aaron Kralik not completely up against the wall, and he's got the right to be where he was at. Cedric making the slight contact, and it bounces him right down to the bottom where he comes to a sliding halt. And there wouldn't have been
Hmm.
a yellow flag thrown, but when Cedric throws it into reverse and backs up, this is what forces the yellow because he's back on the racing surface with oncoming traffic.
Yeah, if he would have just pulled forward, I don't know. Admins the- people are gonna have to look at that and see what they want to do there with that. But, interesting thing there, Sam. As we're gonna go back live here, and that incident that we just seen there, Cedric Hunter, is, kind of caught me off guard. It's strange that Cedric would come up like that. Normally, he's not that type of driver, and he wouldn't slide up and just tap into somebody like that. So I'm not sure if he had a spotter issue or not.
I think also it could have been a little bit of awareness. Some drivers, he'd been seeing everyone in front of him kind of move up and exit the corner at a similar spot, and Kralik was slightly lower. I think that might have been the fact of just, expecting a little bit more space when he came up when there wasn't. And those are small little details, kind of a blind spot even if you look over on where a driver's at. And slight contact, a little bit of quote unquote air also involved with that incident that bounced the 13. But the race isn't over yet for Cedric. We've got ourselves going to be 31 drivers still on the lead lap. We haven't lost one driver. That's going to be Brad Delph. That has called it a night for the 6. Tyler Dangler, 7 laps down. Brian Johnson with the I is 5 laps down. James Hackworth Jr., 2 laps down. And James Kaufman, 1 lap down. Most of the field coming into pit road, 4 tires and fuel, except for 2. It's 2 drivers you see up front. That's Ross Tatum and Brandon Colley, both deciding to stay out on old tires. I'm not a fan of this, Robert. They are going to get swallowed up quickly here.
Most definitely. I'm shocked that Ross Tatum would make this kind of call. I mean, I could understand Brandon Colley being back in the field where he needs to be and trying to gain some positions, and maybe he's banking on a yellow in the next 5 to 10 laps, and maybe Ross Tatum is also thinking that too. But that's an interesting call, and like you said, well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll have to see how this all turns out, because I do believe they're going to get galloped from that number 9 and 28 and the rest of the field. So hopefully they can navigate around these 2 slower cars.
Yeah, they're hoping they can do so. And as we're on the final pace lap, about to go back to Green Flag Racing, we'll give a quick shout out to our two main sponsors here at WSSR. First being Roasted Gems Coffee. Again, go to roastedgems.com and go check out their wide selection of coffees. They got that of French vanilla, cinnamon, and plenty of other great high-quality blends that you can purchase today using the promo code WSSR for 5% off. Getting your coffee, start your day off right today. And as well, head over to Trophy Smack. If you want to be the envy of your enemies, or just say it be the gloat of your victory, go get your trophy today from Trophy Smack. We got championship trophies, belts, rings, and more to be grabbed. Use the promo code WSSR CUP, that's WSSR Cup, for 10% off, or WSSR Smack when purchasing your wall smack. As we're back to Green Flag Racing, Ross Tatum, the 1, and Brandon Colley, old tires. They move up to the high line, and it's Brian P. Johnson using the fresh rubber, and the better advances at the 1 and 21 are just going to be trying to survive for this next couple of laps.
Well, that's it. Good call on them. They all went onto the high side here, and they're going to let everybody with the fresh tires go on low, even though that is not the recommended spot to go, because we know that the faster speeds are on the higher line. But right now, Brian Johnson, you can see, is still having a little bit of problem. Oh, as Ross is getting loose. Hang on, baby. Oh, no, we're going to go 3 wide.
3 wide in the inside. It's going to be the 3 machine of Ryan Kelly. Kelly's trying to hold on to the best he can. Colley's stuck in the middle, pinching Ross Tatum to the outside wall. They somehow keep it together, but they exit the corner. Colley gets loose and shimmying, and it just clogs everyone up. Only Brian Johnson, Shane Terry able to break their way through. Kelly finally able to get fully past Brandon Colley. And again, this is going to be the scare to watch out for. Those old tires extremely loose off the exit of the corner, and now they're heated up, and this is when it gets the scariest for the 1 and the 21.
Oh, most definitely. I'm watching. I got my eye on, as we got Christian Norris. Oh, we got 2. Oh, man.
That's Danny Cochran down on the apron. Now they're going to be 2 wide with Kralik trying to poke the nose under Ross Tatum. Brandon Colley recognizes, you know what, I'm not going to be just giving up positions. All go down. Go, no, crawling up into Ross Tatum across the field. Watch out. Here they come back across the line. Cars are flipping and the chaos reigns as everyone's piling in. The brakes just aren't going to work. And the field has the big one on the backstretch. Lap 100. Carnage reigns.
Oh my God. Ross Tatum is done for the night, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully he can go to the Infield Care Center and get released, because he went on his roof.
Just hard contact and just a little bit of a wiggle, misjudgment from Aaron Kralik, who had to fresher tires but got on the gas just too soon, came up, taps the 21, and everything else just rains down from there. As we get the instant replay up for you, you're watching the WSSR Roasted Gems Cup Series, and this changes a lot for these drivers. With Brandon Colley able to come into pit road, he's going to get some tires. Some other drivers deeper in the field going to get repairs done. But this wreck was massive. We might need a couple of looks at this because of all the different drivers that had to pile in. But here's going to be the incident and what initiated the carnage that rolled out. You're going to see the 0-1 of Aaron Kralik getting into the corner, looking like the grip is good. But the issue is on the center of the corner, the 0-1 hits the throttle just a little bit too soon, and the rear end kicks out. It's going to be at this moment right here. You see the rear end just kick out, the nose pointing a lot more to the yellow line. Overcorrects, comes back, snapping back up. He tries to save it again, but then the rear end slides into Ross Tatum. And at this point, both drivers are just sitting and waiting. They've got zero control on how these cars are going to react, and had a feeling because how fast they were rolling, they were going to come back across the field. There's the contact, kind of a push away as the 18 gets a little bit of that quote-unquote wind, but Ross Tatum lifted up. And as we ride on board with the 21, that's not a vision you want to see through the gravel, and a lot of these drivers nowhere to go, and there's about 8 to 10 other drivers to get some type of contact after that initial hit.
Yeah, it's Zach Hall. I don't know how he made it through, but we'll see if we can grab Zach's replay on him, because somehow he made it through, and I don't know how.
Well, he had plenty of time to get through that. Some of the other drivers really didn't. I think Benjamin Nelson probably had the biggest how to get through there moment of a lot of these drivers. Is see Zach just riding along. He's going to see these drivers pile in. He's got plenty of time to slow down, hit the brake. Also going to be just slowing down slowly, seeing everyone, all the chaos, and as Thomas Walter he's following, and just slips and slides his way through.
Oh, what a thing! But yeah, I mean, crazy. We'll see if we can. I think Christopher Norris had a close one here too, as we're going to see here.
Woo!
Yeah, how did he not get hit?
Nolan Hicks also somehow scaping his way through. A lot of the guys, I mean, that is a wreck that you don't expect to I mean, you expect at some point may happen in front of you, but you don't expect it to flip someone over, and Ross Tatum added to that mix. Ross Tatum still in pit road, had to take a tow to pit road. Luckily does have a fast repair, so they can get back into the mix. A few drivers that have already used their fast repair. A lot of them in the middle of the field, starting off with Malik Kuntz, Ali Fonseca, Cedric, that's going to be Brian Noel, who's used the fast repair. James Heater and Brandon Zimmerman have all used their fast repairs, and drivers that just left pit road, Aaron Kralik and Ross Tatum, just used their fast repair as well.
That's interesting. I didn't realize. Are they giving a fast repair at every race now? Is that in the rules now?
That is just the way this session was built. I didn't think that they were going to be giving fast repairs out, but that it has been what's placed in for these drivers. I think it's because of the fact that the higher horsepower, the knowledge that you can break loose as much as you can.
Yeah.
Just want to give everyone a second chance if they're caught up in a wreck. And
I agree.
Just like that, a lot of people still stuck in and still in this race. As pace car is off into the restart zone, Brian Johnson, Shane Tarian back underway. They don't have to worry about drivers with old tires in front of them, but the 9 got to be careful as Larry Yingling trying to make his outside lane work to make the pass for second.
Oh, he's going to look now. He's going to try to finally. Shane's going to get loose and hold on
another
to
yellow.
Oh, another
back
yellow.
Back half the field getting caught up in a mess, and it's going to be the 60 and the 91. That's Gregory Smith and the 91 of Brock. They're going to be caught up in this mess.
Oh boy, Gregory Smith. All right, well, let's see what happened here, ladies and gentlemen. As we know, yellows breathe yellows, Sam.
They certainly do, and due to the fact that we're in the final third of this race. After you get past lap 100, everyone deeper in the field kind of gets into this anxious feeling of every lap matters. I've got to make it past every lap. And with these restarts and how close everyone is, you can grab 2 to 3 spots if you get a good launch and you make an aggressive move. But that aggression comes with a major risk, and that's being caught up in a wreck. As the driver we're really going to focus on is the 77 and the 91. Those two drivers are going to make the initial contact here on the entry of the corner. And then at this point, it's just hold on and survive with the 60. Comes into Brandon Colley, then gets tossed up off of Aaron Kralich's front bumper. And because it was slightly on the racing surface, that's what brings out our yellow.
Wow, Aaron Kralich again. Unfortunately, it got put back there. We'll ride along with him here, Sam. You can see it. Brandon Colley even got involved in this a little bit. Colley right there. He's going to drift up, hit the boom, and oh, poor Kralich. He just probably used his fast repair too.
That he did. Luckily, didn't have to go in and get caught up with required damage, but the 01 does now have massive damage that he's going to have to stay in pit road for a while for to get those repairs done. A lot of other drivers as well. Aaron Kralich, Brandon Colley, excuse me, has not used his fast repair, but is in pit road trying to get manual damage done. And Brian Noel has already used their fast repair and is in pit road getting service done on their vehicle. As up front, Brian P. Johnson, Shane Terry, Larry Yingling, Ryan Kelly, and Nolan Hicks going to be your top 5 currently.
That's going to be your top 5 as of right now here. And, this got fresh tires. They really haven't even got the tires warmed up yet. We had a yellow after they did. Everybody made their pit stop, and now we just had another yellow. So they're sitting good right now yet, Sam, here. But, we got a great pack of people out there. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in here at WSSR Roasted Gems Cup Series here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting, where I like to say where we get freaky, crazy, and nuts. I had to say that.
I mean, you always have to. Last week we got to see the classic ticker. We got to get the classic phrases out at some point. It makes sense. You got to get it out there.
I do. I definitely do. I don't know if people enjoy me in the booth. I heard a lot of people do, but I have no clue what I'm saying until I go back and watch the broadcast and go, I didn't even realize I said that.
For the longest time, that's how I felt too. I was wondering, what am I doing up here? But, you get used to it. You're doing double duty. You're doing producing of all the graphics, changing the camera, making sure everything that's up that's supposed to be up, and commentating. You're doing a lot more work than I am, so big kudos to you, Robert, for everything that you do to get the show running week in and week out, especially tonight when you're doing the double duty.
Well, I much appreciate it, Sam, and I appreciate everything you do there, sir. But yeah, well, we're under yellow here, and unfortunately, hopefully everybody likes the top ticker here. I got feedback from the league and drivers that they said, look, we're running these old cars. Some guys have some old paint schemes and throwbacks, and some have, their traditional paint schemes, but they wanted the old ticker at the top instead of the NASCAR ticker bar, so I designed this and made this up for these guys here at WSSR, so hopefully everybody enjoys it.
I know I've been enjoying it. It's a good, fresh breath air of having something different than copying what everyone does, and I'm happy that we're at least trying to innovate the best that we can here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. And big shout out as well, as we've been doing shout outs to everyone. Like we said, we're all of our sponsors. Colley's mom sponsors the grid, as well to Roasted Gems Coffee and Trophy Smack. Thank you to all of you viewers that are watching and have been watching us for a while here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. Thank you for enjoying, commentating. In that of commenting, it really makes it a pleasure for us to call these races week in and week out. As we're back to Green Flag Racing for Farmers Feed America 150. Ryan P. Johnson, great launch for himself, giving a little bit of space for second place as Shane Terrian makes the move, clearing the path to attack for the lead. But can we get enough green flag runs as everyone from 10th on back get a little bit too close to one another? We're going to be seeing the wreck sparking at that spot.
Yeah, as we're watching right now, we got cars that are damaged, cars that are not damaged, and people trying to work through the field here, Sam, as we're watching Danny Cochran and the number 16 machine there. he's trying to make some moves on here. And also, we got the 88 here of Nolan Steele finally working up here.
Oh, no, behind them, issues. It's going to be Malik Kuntz on the outside wall. Also going to be testing and getting contact with the 7 and the 13. Biggie, new Biggie. And I don't know how the 7 held on to that after some of those clips, but he saves it, and they keep themselves straight. But big losses for Cedric Hunter and others as Malik Kuntz kind of swamped in that spot, nowhere to go for himself, and drivers over the radio getting a little bit hot and heavy as Cedric Hunter forcing it 3 wide with seeing the 74 in the middle, all Fonseca on the outside, and this doesn't look good as they're exiting turn number 4.
Nick Crawford is trying to figure out how to get around his buddy there of Cedric Hunter in that roasted gem coffee machine, and like everybody said, Sam, I think he's due for a pink car. I think that's his problem. You know, he won last week by, to me personally, being at the right place at the right time. That's all that matters at a super speedway race like Daytona. But he is struggling here right now, and he's finally starting to pull away from these guys back here. And now Nick Crawford is going to be stuck behind the 24, trying to figure out how he wants to get around.
Yeah, trying to get by all Fonseca. That'll be a tough thing to get by James Skeeter deep in the field. A lot of drivers, kind of surprisingly, are stuck deeper in the field than where they really want to be, as the driver gets extremely loose on the back half of our screen. That was the 27 of Jonathan Oxwell, who's going to be just holding on for dear life. Also back here is the 21 of Ross Tatum. Tatum 3 laps down, because again had to take the tow and in some trouble. Currently needing a couple of more yellows to get back into the mix. Currently, though, he's just going to try to race his way through and unlap himself. He can at least get 1 lap back the hard way. That might be too much to ask for as the laps continue to tick away. We're on lap 115 of 150. The laps are just not there for some of these drivers deeper in the field. But those that are up front, it's all getting to crunch time, especially the battle for 5th place. Christopher Norris, Nolan Hicks, they are side by side, and there's a lot of contact. And oh, there's a wreck behind, and it looks to be a driver stop. That's James Kaufman parked on the top.
Oh, I was waiting for you to finish your sentence there, Sam. These guys back here, Brandon Colley and James Kaufman and all these guys, they were just beating and banging each other.
Yeah, they were giving it their all, trying to take every position possible, and wreck comes out. Gregory Smith and James Kaufman were the 2 that made contact and getting the 25 spun around. That brings out another yellow here tonight. I want to give a shout out again to the audience. I want to look at the chat. It's been great to watch because this new ticker doesn't have a caution number.
Yeah.
The chat's been keeping up on the numbers. Oh boy, coming into pit road, one of the only ones up front, Shane Terrian, giving up track position, and everyone else from 10th on back following in suit.
Wow. Yeah, we'll finish that sentence that you were talking about there, Sam. But yeah, interesting.
Wow, surprising to see. But again, thank you for the chat for having fun counting the cautions that come out. It's been fun to look at and seeing that number pop up whenever a yellow flag is thrown. But interesting call, seeing drivers going with fuel and tires more than track position right now.
Sorry, was that? I was reading chat like you were.
Oh, it's gotta be quick on it. Now, seeing the drivers taking tires here, Robert, over track position, kind of interesting to see.
Yeah.
I know we've had a lot of cautions, so the drivers that are out there on track only have about 8 laps of green flag rubber usage so far. But for everyone else, are going to be back mired in the middle of the field dealing with the traffic that we haven't. Shane Terrian, Benjamin Nelson, they have not dealt with this traffic back here, and they are going to get a very rude awakening of how tough it is to get through this field.
Most definitely. I mean, I'm looking back here. Shane Terrian, winded up here in 13th position. Benjamin's back here in 14th. Now, Benjamin did deal with with traffic at the beginning of the race and worked his way through, so he's got a little bit of knowledge of what he has to do. But my interesting is to watch Shane Terrian. That was a very interesting call for him to come into pit road when he did right now. So I'm not sure why he did that. But he's driving, and that's why I'm up in the booth. So I'm not gonna second guess his decision, because he's got a game plan probably.
I mean, I kind of like it because of the fact of the timing of this yellow. We're going to be going back to green flag racing with a little bit under than 30 laps to go. This is one of the last opportunities you're going to have come to pit road if you want to go off strategy from someone else. This 9 machine and everyone else that followed him from 13th on back that took tires and fuel, majority of them still have one more set in pit road to work with. So taking this gamble isn't too bad because if there is a massive difference on the tire rubber, on this restart, this 9 and everyone else behind actually could be in the better positioning later on.
Yep. Well, we'll have to see here as we're going to get ready to go back green. Pace car lights are off here, ladies and gentlemen. Again, thank you for tuning in here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting, but we got to give bravos to that number 3 machine, Ryan Kelly, looking very good here tonight. It's been in the top 5 all race long, Sam.
Yeah, Ryan Kelly, part of the Yin Yang Racing team, of Larry Yingling's team, a part with that of Ryan Kelly and Larry Yingling, going to be James Heater and as well Devin Brock, that are all trying to have some good runs for themselves. But it's Ryan Kelly that's leading that team on positioning-wise, as Larry Yingling going to be further in the field, just 2 positions back. He's the 67. They're going to be in line. We'll see how the teammates want to work on this restart, as Brian Johnson going to be having the 3 to his inside. Then it's Larry Yingling, Christopher Norris, all ready to get back to green flag racing into the restart zone. And we're back at it. Brian Johnson, great launch for himself. Same for Kelly. But it's side by side for 3rd place. Yingling, Norris, who will keep the 3rd spot?
Well, we'll have to see here if Norris can hold off this pack of guys here, because we've got Cole Sacchetti there right in, and Nolan Hicks looking Larry, and Christopher is going to get the pass on Larry, but can he hold him off? Because we've seen how that car was acting for him here throughout the race here, so we'll see what Christopher can do. Oh, we have George going around.
That's going to be the 60 machine, going to be spun around. Drivers trying to avoid, and the yellow flag strikes, and other drivers ahead of them, because they were reacting to the spun out car. We saw even more damage come out of Joshua Kanata and Ryan Ferraro, caught up in a mess.
Oh boy, yes, we'll have to see here. Joshua Kanata. We'll go grab the replay here, ladies and gentlemen, and see exactly what happened here to bring out another caution. What caution number is this? Let us know in chat.
Well, based off their counts, it should be caution number 8 or 9. They're confused in chat. They're a little bit lost, but it's okay. We appreciate you trying to keep it. Okay, we're going to trust Steven Stimpian on the call. Thank you, Steve, on the call. We believe it is ninth caution of the race, and it all was a lot of chain reaction moves. Some drivers were trying to go 3 wide, spooking others, and it forced a lot of drivers having to back off. And this is where drivers were 3 wide initially, trying to figure out where they were going to go. It's Andrew Medlin, Newbigging, and Joshua Kanata 3 wide, but it's the driver in front of them, the 60, that's going to get spun around of Gregory Smith off the nose of the 1 of Brandon Colley, as the 60 drifts up, gets a slight tap, spins around, which is going to force the 16 to try to slow up, but that contact breaking a toe link that then sends the 16 back up across the field. And for Josh Kanata, he's trying to do his best not to collect more drivers, but it does. Ryan Ferraro and Ollie Fonseca caught up, Noel, and just more drivers pile in. Josh Kanata, Malik Toontz, the 2 drivers with required damage after that incident.
Yeah, Joshua Kanata, he ran into the 60, and then he just became a pinball machine.
Yeah, it was there was not much that you could do after initial contact. Once you get that damage, you're kind of stuck with wherever the car is going to send you more than where you would like to go.
Yeah, unfortunately, he was a pinball machine, and I don't know if he has his fast repair yet here, Sam, but he's going to head into pit road and get his machine fixed here. And also, Malik Kuntz is probably in pit road, I would imagine. Yes, he's in pit road right now, so them 2 drivers are getting their vehicle fixed, either fully fixed or are going to get their acquired damage fixed.
Yeah, and it looks like Josh Kanata did have a fast repair to work with. Malik Kuntz did not. So Malik's going to be in pit road for quite a while to get damaged repairs. But we'll see how they can recover on this stop. And Robert, you were talking about and praising the 3 machine. Why not let's talk to the 3 machine? Get his thoughts on how this race is going.
Yeah.
As we are now in the final 25 laps of this race. Let's see if we can queue up the 3. 3 of Ryan Kelly. It's Sam up in the booth. You got us?
Yes, sir.
Well, Ryan, you're going to be starting in second place, it looks like here, and on some older tires and some drivers further behind you. How are you feeling so far with just 25 laps to go here tonight?
Yeah, just trying to keep it in a good position, not spin the tires on the restarts. That's definitely key. And looks like the outside line is better, so just trying to get up there as quick as I can. And hopefully I'll have something for Brian here.
Well, Ryan, you've been having a great run, qualified ninth, been running up in the top four for the majority of this run. What has been the biggest surprise so far this race, and what is the confidence level to try to steal this one away from Brian?
Yeah, feeling pretty good. I think the biggest surprise was that the top was a little faster than the bottom. It's a little hard to pass on the bottom. So just seeing if maybe I can get a run on him up top or wait till that last lap and just shoot one down on the bottom.
Well, Ryan, right now you're leading your team in positioning-wise, and hopefully you'll continue on with that, and hopefully we'll be talking to you at the end of tonight. Good luck, and we'll send you back to your team.
Thank you, sir.
That's going to be the three of Ryan Kelly, who's been having a great run for himself. And, I mean, honestly, it's been a pleasure to watch these drivers and how they've been just pressuring forward, Robert. And for Ryan Kelly, it sounds like he's confident on this next restart.
Yeah, it sounds like he's confident, and you know where he wants to go. The high line is where you need to be. So he's going to see if he can get up there as fast as he can, and I'm sure everybody else wants to get up there. But, you know, you got to give a shout-out to Nolan Hicks up 21, 22 positions. Nolan Steele's up 21 positions. Kyle Rochelle's up 15 positions. Nick Crawford's up 11 positions. As that pace car's getting ready to duck in here, and we're going to get ready to go back green here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's crank her up here soon, and we're going to go green flag racing.
Green flag.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here. Sorry about that, Sam. I hit the button and it didn't go, but hopefully everybody enjoyed that cranker up here as we're watching Shane Terry is stuck down on the bottom side here trying to figure out where he wants to go.
Yeah, and right now for Shane Terrian, he is leading the drivers that took fresh rubber. The other one is the 79 right behind him. That's Benjamin Nelson. Fresh rubber for those two, and they have been kind of doing a little bit of do-si-do of who's the lead driver, carving through this field with coming to 20 laps to go. Ryan Johnson hoping for this race to finish out clean and green, because at the rate that seeing Shane Terrian and Benjamin Nelson moving forward, Ryan Johnson might just have enough time to hold them back.
Yeah, with 20 laps to go here right now, we're watching Shane. He's just carving right through the field on these fresh tires. We've got Benjamin Nelson right behind him with fresh tires too. So you're exactly right here, Sam. We'll see if Brian Johnson can hold off, and hopefully this traffic holds him up just a little bit here. As Shane, you can just see the power of the new tires. He can literally right now go down to that low line and make the pass on these guys as he's going to sail right behind, I'll get it out, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to sail right around Christopher Norris as well. I was trying to say.
Yeah, he gets right to the inside lane of the 3 and by Christopher Norris. And with Shane Terrian, he's got to be careful with when he drifts up, because he's getting very close to being hooked by the driver who was outside. This 9 finally able to clear by Ryan Kelly and get some clean air, get some good space, and also run the preferred lane that the 9 machine wants to be in. The 79, though, behind him, Benjamin Nelson, still fighting and clawing his way forward, and as well joining them is the 2 of Danny Cochran, who also is on some fresher rubber than everyone else on the field.
And you can see that low line, like I said, is working really great here. But right now we're looking at Shane Terry in here. Last time by, he put down, let's see, what did he put down? He put down a 24.4 to Brian's 24.6. So he is 2.3 faster with 17 laps to go, and he should no problem catch Brian Johnson.
Yeah, in theory, he should be able to, and that's what Shane is hoping for. If this race can stay green, he might be able to catch back up. Brian, though, on the other hand, if a caution flag was to come out, it puts the 28 and a lot of other drivers in a tricky situation where they have to make the tough choice. Do I want to come to pit road or not? It's Danny Cochran, saw in the back shot, got extremely loose for the 2, able to keep it straight as he falls back in from all the advantage that he thought he had. He's now going to be in the clutches of another driver that's got fresh rubber. That's the 7 of Douglas Newbigging. As drivers up front pass for second place, probably the easiest pass Shane Terry could have asked for. Larry Yingling just moves over for the 9 machine.
It moves right over as they're still battling back here with Cole Sacchetti, Christopher Norris. I'm worried about this group right now here as we'll watch what Shane can do here with the next couple laps. But right now, this group right here are all over each other here, Sam.
They really are, and the big reason why this is a scary group to watch out for is Danny Cochran. He's been struggling as the run progresses on, even with fresher tires in this group. He's broken loose plenty of times, and he's hoping that it doesn't happen again, but he's being pressured by the 7 of Douglas Newbegin, who cannot afford to just settle behind the 2. Needs to make this pass quickly, otherwise behind them, Zach Hall might try to go for a pass.
Yeah, Zach Hall, but right now, Doug, you can see he's still got damage on that machine, so that is hindering him a little bit down the front stretch and the back stretch on trying to get his maximum speed. But through the turns, he looks very strong, and man, them tires are not going to last.
And they're going to wreck behind. Another contact and spin, and it looks to be Aaron Kralik in the 01. Spun around and Alt F4 immediately out of the race.
Oh man. Well, exiting out of the race, we're not going to grab the replay because it will mess up the scene, guys, ladies and gentlemen. So, but if you can give a rundown of what exactly happened there, Sam, if you don't mind.
It was an aggressive driving of Thomas Walter getting right behind the 01. Aaron Kralik was falling back. He's one of the drivers on older tires and just had a bad run. Got contact and spun him around, and the 01 immediately left the server after being spun out, and Thomas Walter will be staying out on track for the 57 in 24th position.
Oh boy. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, this is getting interesting here as we're going to look here real quick. We got 12 laps to go here under yellow. Shane Terrian, well, Sam, when we go back green, we're looking at what, 9 laps to go, and we got Brian Johnson, we got Benjamin actually going into pit road, so people are getting fresh rubber. Can these top 4 guys hold off this field?
It's looking to be, still waiting for all the drivers that are staying out where they're going to be placed. Looking to be maybe about 15 drivers deciding to stay out, 12, excuse me, deciding to stay out on track. And it's going to be Brian P. Johnson in 13th position. That is a long distance that we're going to have to see the 28 move through this field. But it is possible because the grouping that's going to be in front of this 28 going to find himself being in some tricky situations on getting by some of these slower drivers initially. But I think Brian Johnson might have just enough time if we stay green on this restart. But if we can bring in a lot of cautions, and he gets caught up in one of the messes, that's where the bad luck can strike. But Shane Terrian, as long as he can get a good restart, should be in a pretty good spot to find himself in a victory lane. Interesting calls, though, by Larry Yingling and Ryan Kelly, both deciding to stay out on the extreme old tires that they're on.
Yeah, I'm shocked on that too. I would have thought, the way Shane got up through the field, why wouldn't you go in and take tires? Everybody else did, or they at least have one more set left, correct?
Yeah, they still had one more set to work with. For Ryan Kelly, he technically has 2 sets still to work with in pit road. So interesting to see these drivers on those calls. Some drivers have already used up all their sets. Majority of the field actually still have 1 set to work with. But the ways the timing of the cautions lined up, they didn't have to use all of them. And I think you got to give huge kudos to the league for at least giving the drivers plenty of options to work with the extra sets of tires that they had here tonight.
Oh, agreed. The league owner and the admins, and they know and they test this stuff out before they set up the servers and know how these tires are going to react and what the fuel run is and things like that. So, again, bravos to them here. But with 9 laps to go here, we're going to be looking at 8 laps to go, and I'm still scratching my head why they didn't go in and take tires. If they had a set, you were already up into the front, but again, I'm not driving, so we'll have to see if Shane can hold off, as like you said, Brian Johnson, Christopher Norris, Benjamin, Danny, Cole Cecchetti, Nick Crawford, Zach Hall, you know, Zimmerman down there at 65 and 20th position. All these guys got, you know, tires, so they're going to have to really work through the field here and hopefully not get caught up into another yellow.
Yeah, and some of these drivers, and even in front of those that just took tires, dealing with damage. Ollie Fonseca dealing with a lot of front-end damage, and he's going to be on the outside. Gotta watch out for those, and also those on older tires, mainly Ryan Kelly, Larry Yingling. They were struggling after being passed by the 9 machine, but people in chat curious on overtime. We do have green white checkers if needed. We got 3 attempts if we get to that point, but that's if we have a yellow flag come out with 5 or less laps to go. Into the restart zone, it's Shane Terry, Larry Yingling taking off the 9 with a quick start, but wasn't able to clear the 97 down into turn number 1. It's old tires versus newer, and the 9 having the better positioning off the exit of the corner, but the rest of the field trying to hold steady, a lot just getting out of the way because they're on older tires. And on that first corner, already Brian P. Johnson up to 10th position.
That's where I think we need to go back and watch. You watch these guys battling here. We got all these guys on fresh tires. Brian Johnson's now going to look underneath that 24, and we got Benjamin falling in a Mountain Dew machine. Cole Cecchetti coming through here. So,
no! Jonathan Cogswell off the
Look
bumper of
out.
the 28, and it's madness of drivers piling in. Johnson able to slide, but they continue to just stack, and a majority of the field caught up in this one.
Oh, carnage. Breakfast.
The big one. It's even bigger than the last one.
Oh my goodness, I don't even know where to go back on the replay. We've seen Brian Johnson sliding across the track, going into the inside wall.
That was Brian Johnson getting into Jonathan Cogswell, and it was Cogswell, after he spun out, everyone else kind of piled into the 27. Drivers caught up with required damage. Danny Cochran, Christopher Norris, Ollie Fonseca, and Brandon Zimmerman are going to be those with the heavy damage. Zimmerman does not have a fast repair to work with. Ollie Fonseca, I believe, also had already used his fast repair. And for Danny Cochran and others, I believe they've also used their fast repair. This is a unfortunate circumstance for them. Christopher Norris looks to be the only one that's going to be still having fast repair in his back pocket. As you see, we're hopped over to Brian Johnson because he had the faster tires just flying through, but it looked like the 27 there actually got loose initially. That's where the speed difference really gapped itself. And the contact lifted up the rear end, spun out the 27. Ollie Fonseca nowhere to go. Benjamin Nelson also getting packed in, and everyone, you could see those that were trying to slow down, accordion effect their way into more and more contact and heavy damage as the field. Some hit the brakes, others try to scave their way through, and it's hard contact after hard contact.
Oh, it's carnage is what you call it. Zach Hall involved into it all. We'll see if we can get an insight. Oh, Zach Hall just got killed by the 65 there at the end of it as I was going back on the replay.
Yeah, I've got a feeling with the 2 big ones that we had, there's going to be more record break penalties that might be served after this race. 3 wide, seeing the 90 on the outside, as well as Nick Crawford, Zach Hall, and the 90 machine. I don't know why he broke. He just slammed on the brakes and actually turned the 90 machine, who came down collecting Brandon Zimmerman, which I believe that contact broke Zimmerman's wheel. And the 65 was just a sitting duck on when he comes in, right on board with Zach Hall. And you can't see it there, but contact hits where it lifts them up into the sky.
Wow.
And just showing small little contacts can send you slightly sky high.
Oh, man, these cars are a wicked when they wreck, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, these cars go all over the place.
Yeah. it's not good.
No, if you get lifted, man, you're going for a ride. Either you're spinning, flipping, or rolling, or sliding. One of the 3, ladies and gentlemen. So let us know in chat which one you'd like if you have to wreck. Spin, flip, or slide.
Oh, I don't think, I mean, if I had to
Any?
pick one, probably a flip that I'm hoping for, and I land on all four.
There you go. There you go.
And then I think you should be able to continue driving. I've actually seen, because I've been broadcasting now for 4 years, I've seen some drivers actually do a barrel roll, land on all four, and still win a race. So I would say if you have to pick one of those, probably a flip would be the one you want to have.
I agree with you there, Sam. And I've been doing this for 4 years too, and we've seen it all, haven't we, sir?
We certainly have seen some stuff that you can never predict. I can't say we've seen it all because you never know what could happen.
True, very point.
But we certainly have seen a lot of things that we never could write down or imagine have happened.
Yep. Good point. Good point. Okay, well, we almost seen it all.
Yes, I will say that. Well, we are officially inside of a green-white checkered, but it's not overtime. This is going to be in regulation green-white checkered. If we get to the white flag, this race becomes official. If we get a caution, though, in the first lap that we go back to green flag racing, we'll go into overtime. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, potentially the last restart of the night. Let's find out who's going to victory lane. Shane Terry and Larry Yingling, very different on the tires. Brian P. Johnson going to be deep in the field in 8th position on the freshest of tires. And we're into the restart zone. We're green for the Farmers Beat America 150. And it's Shane Terry with a great launch, really beating out Larry Yingling there on that start. Rest of the field, though, they're already going to be 3 wide, trying to grab every position possible. Exit of turn 2, Shane Terrian feels good. A little bit of slight wiggles, though, for the drivers battling for 10th place. Through 3 and 4, Shane Terrian all the way to the outside for the lead as the drivers battle their way forward. Cross the line, it's going to be your Roasted Gems white flag. Shane Terrian trying to win. He got second on his debut race and now just has to hold on for the speedy drivers behind. The 9 gonna have a good gap. It's gonna be about 2 car lengths ahead of Larry Yingling. Larry pressured by the teammates of Ryan Kelly and also Newbiggie trying to find the pressure, but they're not going to be close enough. The exit of turn number 4. He got second last week. Give the 9 a win tonight. The Farmers Beat America 150 goes to Shane Terrian.
Good job, Shane Terrian. Showed the power all night, did the pit stop strategy call just perfectly. And I don't know what would have happened there, Sam, if we didn't have that late yellow there with Brian Johnson getting involved there. Might have been able to catch him because he was moving there. But good job, Shane. Congratulations on your second place finish of last week. And now you turn around and you put yourself in victory lane. Second race of the season. Good job, sir.
I mean, he talked about it last week when we interviewed him with his second place finish at Daytona. Said he loves this car and it fits his drive. I mean, he loves the driving style that this car brings out. And it just showed here tonight. Was up front plenty of times throughout this evening. Qualified second, got up front. When he was leading the race, no one could touch him. And Shane Terrian, it's to burn it down. Well, for us up at the booth, the night's not over just yet. We still got the post-race show. We're going to talk to our top 3 and a spotlight driver right after this as Shane Terrian gets to park it in victory lane. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the post-race show on Freaky Fast Broadcasting for the WSSR Roasted Gems Cup Series. Tonight was the second race of the season, and we headed to the Rock, where we got to see drivers beating and banging lots of wrecks, but all ended under regulation with a green-white checkered finish, where Shane Tarian was able to get to victory lane, which is where we head to. The 9 Machine, second place last week, wins here tonight. Shane, it's Sam up in the booth. Congratulations on getting your win and your first one of your WSSR Cup Series career.
Thank you. I I said it last week. This car brings me back to 2015, 2016, where I was good. So, this feels great. It feels good to be fast again.
I mean, that is certainly what you were tonight. Quick, whenever you got the lead, it looked like no one could beat you. But at one moment, you had to go back in the field, taking the tire strategy call. What made you feel like that was the call to make at the time with 30 laps to go?
I in my eyes, I was like, man, this is just like a faster version of Iowa running the top. You can't pass. So I was like, I'm gonna have to do something different. I don't know if it's gonna work. I was hoping more cars would come down. But I mean, to restart 13th, it worked out. I just had to be smart. I don't know these guys. I don't know how they race, so I just was smart and aggressive, and it paid off. I was shocked at 28 pit there with 10 to go, but I guess you could see how much faster I was. So, man, it was a risk, and it paid off.
It certainly did. You get your first win of the season. We got plenty of other tracks that I know you could be fast at, Shane. But the next 3 that we're heading to is Las Vegas, the 2008 Atlanta, and Darlington. How are you feeling about these next 3 races that are coming up?
Well, I feel really good about Darlington. I'm sure, as you know, Sam, watching me in the past, that is a really good track for me. Old Atlanta, I'm curious in this car. It's already a handful in cars that are full throttle, so I don't know. I don't know how to feel with this one. I'm gonna have to run some laps and see. But if it's kind of close to this, well, I would expect for myself to be up there, but who knows?
Well, you certainly proved tonight you're going to be a threat to watch out for. Congratulations on getting your first win of the season. And before we let you go, the floor is now yours for any shout outs.
Yeah, I'm gonna shout out, Helo Controllers, and I think I have Efron on the back. I would say Navy. I'm not in the Navy anymore, finally. You guys for broadcasting, and of course, these guys for racing hard and clean there, coming through the fields. I really respect that. And it was, I think it was 67 who let me go there for second place. I have not seen people do that in this day and age, so it was really nice. So shout out to him for that. That's really respectable.
Yeah, it certainly shocked us when we saw that move happen, but it's helped you out a ton. Congratulations, Shane, on the win, and good luck next week at Las Vegas.
Thank you.
Well, as we get from victory lane, let's go to second place, where we talk to the 67 that Shane was just talking about. It's Larry Yingling coming away with second place over his teammate of Ryan Kelly. Larry, congratulations on second place. How are you feeling after that one, especially being on the older tires there on that last restart?
Oh, I feel pretty good. I definitely was surprised when I qualified that good, and I was definitely expecting a decent amount of caution this race. And shout out to everyone that went. We had a couple good runs, and Rockingham is always that track that no matter what I do, something goes wrong, and I'm gladly take a second.
I mean, Larry, looking at the drivers on those last couple of restarts, we saw some groups going into pit road with 30 laps to go, some with 10 laps to go. You and Ryan deciding not to come into pit road there. What was your mindset and thinking wise of not coming into pit road late?
It was just Rockingham, and something always goes wrong with me, so I figured if I'm out towards the front, less chance of getting a wreck. So that was my strategy.
It certainly was a good strategy. It kept you out of trouble. And Larry, final question for you. We've got Las Vegas and Atlanta coming up. We're going back to the mile and a half races. How are you feeling confidence-wise heading to those courses?
I feel pretty good. Hopefully I get good top fives there. I forget the last time I drove these cars on Mountain House. It'll be pretty fun to figure it out and see how Zach and all of them drive this car and how to be fast. But I'm definitely looking forward to it.
And we're looking forward as well. Well, Larry, congratulations again on second place. Before we let you go, the floor is now yours for any shout-outs.
Definitely shout out all my teammates this race, Devin Brock, Ryan Kelly, and D. James Heater, along with DeAndre, James, and Carolyn. For my sponsors, Muffin Sports Cards and Port City Cards on Instagram if you are interested in the hobby of collecting cards. If you are interested in weight training or nutrition, check out Daniel Payne1 on Instagram, virtual or in person near the Shreveport, Louisiana area, and Cody Glenn Cox Music on Spotify and YouTube. And shout out to you guys as always for the broadcast, and see you next week.
Well, that is going to be second place finisher, the 67 of Larry Yingling. Congratulations on a great finish tonight, and good luck next week at Las Vegas.
Thank you, sir.
Well, as we go from second place, let's head to his teammate. Going to be the 3 Machine who we talked to under our driver interview, and that's Ryan Kelly in third position for the 3. Ryan, you come away third. Not a bad showing being on those old tires. Man, how are you feeling after your performance here tonight?
Yeah, very happy with the podium finish. There's a lot of good drivers in here, so to be able to finish top 3 is pretty cool. Yeah, the old tires had me nervous there at the end. They were coming pretty quickly, so just thankful there was only a 2-lap shootout there, because another lap and they probably would have started to pass us.
Well, Ryan, you're a rookie in this league. It's a pleasure to have rookies joining, and it seems like you guys are really elevating this series. How have you personally felt with just now 2 races under your belt in the WSSR? How are you feeling for the rest of this season?
Yeah, definitely good to start the season good. We got wrecked in Daytona, but Daytona's kind of a wild shoot. So first real oval race here, and yeah, I feel good. Gonna try and be consistent all season and get back on the podium. And I know it's gonna be tough with all the guys that are in here.
Certainly will be. Well, Ryan, still congratulations on a third place finish. Before we let you go, though, the floor is now yours for any shout outs.
Yeah, just the teammates tonight. You guys for putting on the show, of course, and all the league sponsors, the Roasted Gems, Coffee, Trophy Smack, and the Speed Shirt Labs. Thank you to them for sponsoring the league and letting us do this.
Well, thank you, Ryan, for putting on a great show that we get to cover. That's going to be the 3 Machine of Ryan Kelly coming away with a third place finish here tonight. And good luck next week, Ryan, as you head to Las Vegas.
Thank you.
As we go from third place, let's go to a spotlight driver. We go from one Ryan to another as we bring in the 34 of Ryan Ferraro. Ryan, you come away with a 13th place finish, one of the higher drivers to have their biggest move from where you qualified. But man, how are you feeling after what seemed to be a pretty rocky race, being involved with wrecks, but still coming away with a top 15 finish?
Yeah, I mean, it feels pretty good. Just tried to capitalize on everything that I possibly could. It didn't really go well. The beginning of the race, we kind of moved forward. I got to about 25th, about the what was that? The competition caution, and tried to stay up front as much as I could. I spun the tires on the last restart, but after I spun the tires and then got caught up in that last wreck, I just tried to stay out and maintain track position. Luckily, I think me and Kyle got into each other a little bit, and I tried to stay off him. I don't know if I came down or if we just doored each other, but we both kept straight and just tried to have keep whatever track position I could there.
Well, you still advanced, got 13th here tonight. And Ryan, excited to see. We've seen you perform well in other leagues that we cover here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. But what is your mentality going into this season with the competition being as high as it is and you coming away with 13th place finish here tonight?
I think most of my mentality is just try to finish all the laps and do as well as I can. These guys are really good, and I'm not nearly as good, so I just have to try and capitalize on everything that I possibly can and maintain anything I can. And any advantage I can possibly gain, I have to take advantage of it and do whatever I can to, yeah.
Well, solid night for yourself, Ryan. Congratulations again on a 13th place finish. And before we let you go, the floor is now yours for any shout outs.
Yeah, definitely. Chisel and Shaker, my friends Gilly and Matt, have been awesome in supporting me with this sponsorship that they give me. Hot Lap Designs and Danny Cochran for making this awesome paint scheme he made for me with the ice for the ice carving company that Chisel and Shaker is. He did a fantastic job. I definitely have to thank Sidewinder, Brian, and Aaron are great for information and just helping me out throughout the race. Definitely Team Watson for bringing me aboard, for helping me out in the truck series as much as they do for IRSC. You guys definitely for putting on the broadcast as much as you guys do, all the admins in every league I run, and everyone else who has let me run into all their leagues that they possibly could.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you out there on track, Ryan. Congratulations on 13th, and good luck next week at Las Vegas.
All right, thank you guys. Have a good night.
You too, as that's going to be our interviewers of the night. We got to talk to those 4 fantastic drivers, our top 3 and our spotlight driver. Thank you to all 4 drivers that showed up for your interviews. You also heard them say, hey, thank you to the sponsors. Well, we want to give a shout out once again to the amazing sponsors. Again, qualifying sponsor being Brandon Colley's mom, and as well the title sponsor of Roasted Gems Coffee, who's also the white flag sponsor. Go get your premium coffee and great merch today at roastedgems.com using the promo code WSSR for 5% off. And for Trophy Smack, well, if you haven't heard about it, you might as well go over to trophysmack.com and look up Wall Smack. A lot of the drivers, when they get a victory, they take a photo of what their victory car is and they slap it on a wall smack. It is a metal plate that shows a custom image that you placed on it. A lot of the drivers also up here at Freaky Fast Broadcast. I know Robert got himself a wall smack. Great high quality paint that you can place easily with their high gloss work. It's completely customizable to you and has their wall safe magnet mounting system. Go check it out and remember to use the promo code WSSR SMACK today for 10% off. Well, Robert, certainly a crazy race. Didn't expect for it to go as crazy as it did. But man, Shane Tarian getting the victory at the end of the day.
Most definitely. Yeah, congratulations to him. And it was a great race though. We had, like Larry said, we had a long green flag run, and then we had caution-free caution. Hey, this is the Rock, and that's sometimes this is the way this race plays out and happens, and it is what it is. I know there's a little bit of tempers out there, but overall in general, Sam, I think it was a great race for everybody. But before we sign off here tonight, we got to bring up our official results.
And our unofficial results for tonight's race, going to be seeing Shane Tarian getting himself into victory lane with Larry Yingling behind him. 67 playing nice gestures, and Karma helped out to keep him in second. Brian Kelly in third. Douglas Noob, a big who got the pole, going to come away fourth, with Brian P. Johnson, freshest of tires, only was able to get up to fifth place, but incredible. Went from 12th to 5th in just 10 laps. An incredible push for the 28 with the 2 cautions that came out. Cedric Connor going to get 6th, Nick Crawford 7th, Cole Sketty 8th, 9th goes to Christopher Wade, and Joshua Kanata finishing out our top 10. Look at some of the other drivers. Great recovery run for that of Brandon Colley, as well as Ryan Ferraro. But you look deeper in the field, some drivers that are hoping for better days moving forward. Gotta say, Aaron Crawley, probably the biggest one, backing down in 34th position. Ali Fonseca had a bad day. James Heater, expecting a little bit more from a driver that's been caught up in some messes. And Devin Brook, also expecting some more speed from those drivers. I think that's something that I'm excited to see moving forward, Robert, is those that qualified well, what is long-run pace are they going to develop and learn really throughout the season?
Well, that's it. Tonight was a learning curve, too, how these cars handle. Some of these guys are... they know how to run these cars, and some guys, are just learning these cars, like George in the 60. He only bought the car to run in this series. So, he's going to take a couple weeks, to get the feel on how this car reacts and things like that. And Shane Tarian, tonight's race winner, like you said, and he said this fits his racing style. It fits Brian's racing style. So I see drivers developing in the next couple weeks, and we'll see how that all plays out, where guys are going to get the pole and stay up front, and see guys in the back work their way up front as we get to tracks that they can get longer green flag runs without a yellow and things like that. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, because the action's only going to heat up more.
It certainly is. And if you'd like to see some more Gen 4 racing action, you want to preview what next week's going to be like, watch tomorrow night as the Drivers in Stars and Stripes Racing Series take the Gen 4 cars to Las Vegas. It's going to be our next Freaky Fast broadcast. Then also, we're going to be having broadcasts starting on Monday night. It's the ISRC Truck Series. Tuesday's the Full Send Racing Series. And then we're right back here. Las Vegas, the next destination for the WSSR Roasted Gems Cup Series, as the 9 gets to have his fun out there burning it down. For us of the booth, we're going to step away and say thank you so much for watching this broadcast on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. My name is Sam Dyer. Joining me doing double duty was Robert Moyer Jr. And thank you to everyone else at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. And to you, the audience, thank you for watching. And for the rest of tonight, congratulations to Shane Terry and for getting the win at The Rock, as our next Freaky Fast broadcast is tomorrow night as the Stars and Stripes series tackles Las Vegas.